Hello, lovely souls. Welcome back to Awakening to Your Soul Self podcast. I'm Cristina, your host, Angel Messenger, Angel Reiki Master Teacher, and Automatic Writing Guide. In this week's episode, I apologize for the gap between February's podcast and this episode. I just got caught up in a lot of things, and if you know me, I have to be kind of in the energy to record a podcast and film social media, so I kind of felt the energy today, and I have some great things to bring through today. So let's dive in. What if your spirit team could literally freeze your phone or whisper to you, like take a different route home, just to get a message for the day? Today, we're going to explore the universe and how they give us signs and messages through our busy lives. So if you know me, I do tech support for a school district during the day, and on my free time, I do my angel messaging business. And recently I got a sign that really reflected both worlds for me. So the other day I took a picture of a piece of technology and I was trying to zoom into the serial number so I could inventory it. And all of a sudden, the picture that I was zooming into disappeared. And what appeared next was a picture of my grandfather, my late grandfather who passed away. And I was like, all right, Grandpa, I see you. Thank you for the sign. But the thing was, until I said acknowledged and said thank you, my phone completely froze. So I was trying to swipe to the next picture. I was trying to get out of it, and I really couldn't. I even tried swiping away. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, what's the message that you're trying to bring me? And I heard, just wanted to tell you that I love you and I'm here with you all the time. And once I received that download, I was able to swipe away the picture and go back to my normal tech support self. And I just took a moment. I was like, how strange is that? Because it's not a coincidence. It's definitely a sign and a message, because I have thousands of pictures on my phone, and it went to that picture. The picture of my grandfather is I think the second photo on my phone. I've always heard stories of, loved ones and guides and angels using technology to provide signs, whether it's phone calls, like a missed call, and it will come up with their loved one's name, or they try to call back, nothing happens, repeating numbers. And I think sometimes the message when we hit, especially with the technology ones, is that sometimes you just have to take a moment and acknowledge it's not a coincidence. But not only that, but acknowledge the message moment that they're trying to connect with you. Basically, this episode is going to be all about different signs that I've had throughout the years. And Spirit is saying that there are going to be some aha moments for you, whether you've experienced a sign or you were questioning if something was a sign. So I also had another story a couple years ago. I was driving home from work, and I usually, take the quickest route home because I'm tired and I just want to go relax. But I was at a red light and they said, take a right, don't go straight like you always do. Take the longer way home. And I was like, do I really want to take the long way home, Spirit? And that's with my free will, decided, okay, I'm going to listen to the message and I'm going to make the right. And if I didn't make that right and went straight home like I wanted to, I would have not heard the song. It's called Breakaway from Kelly Clarkson. And the lyrics just hit me. I've listened to that song 1,000 times. It's one of my favorites. But in that moment in the car, I knew the angels were speaking to me through the lyrics. And I said, thank you, angels. I really needed to hear that message today. So sometimes you got to listen to those little whispers saying, go that way or don't go that way, because they're trying to align you with their sign or message that they're trying to bring to you. And then the lyrics were really about just spreading your wings and flying. And during that time, I was really fresh of learning my gifts. And I was like, I want to spread my wings, but I don't. And lo and behold, song was the message that I needed to hear, that I need to spread my wings. A couple other signs from my grandpa is when he was here on the physical earth, he would collect quarters. He would try to find all the states and all the different years. And after he passed away, I went to go purchase a quarter collection book, and I started that for a while with him. So anytime that we say, Grandpa, please give us a sign, we're trying to connect with you, it's always quarters, 99% of the time. I remember being at work during one of the school vacation weeks because we work during those, and I was setting up a new lab, and these tables that we have kind of open up where you can kind of hide the cables and hide the cords. And I swear to you, I was literally looking in that like a good 10, 15 minutes on and off. And lo and behold, I opened it again and a quarter appeared. And I said, whoa, the quarter was not there. I literally was just in that part of the table. And I took it and I said, thank you, Grandpa, for the sign. My mom has gotten quarters, my brother. And tying this to the next story is that my brother proposed to his now wife a couple of years ago. And I was there for the engagement because my brother wanted to take photos and videos of her reaction. When we got back to the car, all I heard was look down at his feet. So I looked down because I could feel my grandpa's energy. It wasn't a quarter, though. It was a penny. And I said, pick it up. I really feel like it's a sign for Grandpa. Keep it separate from like regular coins because I really feel like that's a message saying that he was there during the engagement and he's with you at this moment. Later that night, I hop in the shower and I hear repeatedly, tell him to go look at the year on the penny. Tell him to look at the year of the penny. And I said, okay. So I got out of the shower, came downstairs, and I quickly called him. And Mom's like, what's the matter? I'm like, hold on, I really got to figure out this message. So I call him and I said, do you still have that penny that Grandpa left? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, can you go get it? He's like, okay. And I'm like, all right, on the penny, what year is it? And he goes, Chris, it's 2001. And I go, oh my gosh, it's the year you were born. So I wanted to bring that story to you because not only was it an amazing sign to have coin with his birth year on it, but there are other stories where I've heard this happen to people where you look at the coin and it's a year of significance for you or for the loved one. And that was 100% validation that he literally was there during the engagement. So I thought that was amazing. He still has this to this day. Other loved ones will have what's called like their sign. For my grandpa, it's quarters. For my grandma, it's cardinals. I believe my friend Alexa, her dad is a dragonfly. My other friend from Australia, I believe her grandmother is a specific bird that's in Australia. So there are kind of like calling card signs where you see them and you just have a knowingness that it's their died or loved one. So on the 18th of March, I was on my lunch break and I heard from Spirit, we need to do an automatic writing session about signs. There are some questions about signs because when you're, in this human society, everything is popped up to coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences. I think everything's a sign and everything happens for a reason. They want me to bring through this channel message to you in this podcast episode. I was going to do it on Instagram, but I find that sometimes these longer messages don't have as much power on Instagram or Facebook. So here we go. Signs are a beautiful way for us to connect with you. You might not notice all the signs. Know that we are sending you signs all the time, from repeating numbers to animal signs, to signs specifically you asked for. They're there waiting for you to notice them. If you feel something as a sign, know that it is a sign. When you receive the sign, take a moment and ask, who is it from? And what is the message with the sign? Sometimes it's from someone you haven't thought about in a while. Sometimes it's from God. Sometimes it's from the archangels, a guide, or a loved one. There are generic signs that people have come up with to recognize, but it's the specific signs that you ask for are the best because it's you asking for help from us. You might be asking, can a sign be too specific? The answer is no. It might take a little bit for us to align the sign in your path at the exact moment, but it happens when you least expect it. As long as you stay open, you might be saying, what if I ask for a pink elephant? Trust me, I've done that. There is no such thing. Well, if you go in with that perspective, you will miss the sign. Nowadays, there are so many ways to get signs to you. From conversations, clothing, actual signs, arts, technology, social media. You could see someone's shirt with a pink elephant, or on your phone on social media. There isn't a sign we can't send your way. You need to stay open and be patient to receive the sign. Signs come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. Take a moment today, take a deep breath, and ask for a sign today. It can be as simple sign or a specific sign. Sometimes we will have you think of a specific sign that we've already lined up. Once you receive that sign, give thanks and ask for the message that goes with the sign and who it's from. We are always with you, sending you love, signs, and positive, loving messages. That was a beautiful message from the angels. And they're 100% correct. I mean, I've heard of people asking for the most specific things, and it happens. I actually asked for the pink elephant when I first started, so I really wanted to really find out if all the stories that I've been hearing are true, if you know something so specific, if they can do it. And I asked for a pink elephant. I'm like, I know the pink elephant doesn't exist. God, how are you going to give me a pink elephant as a sign? And I think it was like a day or two passed. But I still was like, I'm going to stay open and we're just going to wait for the sign. And because I work in a school district, there was a girl who had a pink elephant on her shirt. And I said, oh my gosh, God, thank you so much for that sign. I 100% believe you now and all the signs you send. Sometimes it can be through social media. I've had moments where I've asked my grandma, Grandma, if you're with me in this situation or I need some guidance, please send me a card. And in the colder months, I'm not like outside as often. I don't go looking for cardinals. And I was swiping through Facebook and a cardinal came up and I said, this feels like a sign. And I said, Grandma, thank you so much for the sign. Now I know that everything's going to be okay with the situation. And I showed my mom. I said, Mom, she gave me the sign. Everything's going to be okay. And you might be saying, like, yeah, but if you like cardinals on social media, it's an algorithm. It's just going to give you cardinals. True. But when I landed on that cardinal, I had a knowingness it was from her. You just feel it in your energy. You feel it in your gut. You're like, that's the sign. And that's the same for a lot of the generic signs. People cough it up to coincidences, or it's like, oh, it's just like an algorithm thing. You will feel it when you know it's a sign for you. And asking for who the sign is from is really powerful as well. And what's the message? Sometimes it's just a sign because you ask for the sign that everything's going to be okay, or your little hello from your loved ones. But take a moment or two and get into oneness and say, okay, who is this from? And give it a minute. And then, what is the message? And if you don't have a moment to ask that, take the sign if it's physical. If not, no worries. Keep that in your mind. And then at night when you're by yourself and you have a moment, ask again. Ask, who is this from? What is the message? So a couple other stories that I want to bring through, and these are on my Instagram except the penny one, is when you ask for a sign, it's okay to just say, give me a sign. Because I've done that before. Something could be something specific. This one day, I was, we just put like grass seed out and I needed to water it. And I was just like, God, universe, source, angels, I'm just looking for a sign. I don't know what kind of sign. Just please give me a sign that I'm on the right path, that I really do have these gifts, because it was kind of earlier in my spiritual journey, and it was watering. And it was like, what is that? And it was just a beautiful purple rock. I should have brought it in with me, but I'll link that post in the show notes. It was this beautiful purple rock, and I've never seen anything like it. And if you know Archangel Metatron, it's a beautiful violet purple color that's associated with him. And when I picked up this rock, I just asked, who is this from? And right away I heard Archangel Metatron, who I've never really heard from before then. And I could just feel that the rock just had this beautiful energy about it. And I just held it and I just said, what is this sign? What does this sign mean? What is the message? And he basically said, don't give up. You do have these gifts. You are on the right path. The exact message is in the Instagram, but he's wanting me to pass along that message for all of you as well, as don't give up. Believe in yourself. Believe in the messages and the signs that they're giving you. My next story is also on Instagram. My mom was going to go in for elbow surgery, and I asked the angels. I said, angels, you know she's going to be okay for the surgery. I just need some extra reinsurance. And I turned around to like finish getting ready for the day, and there was a rainbow on my door. And I was like, well, because like you can get like rainbows from like glistening certain things. And I was like, what is it glistening off of? And I like looked in my window in the corner my bedroom because I figured it might be like reflecting from there. And I couldn't find it. And all I heard is, just take the message as it is. Take the sign. And I said, okay, this is validation. She's going to be okay. And then I went to go brush my teeth and I came back and the rainbow was already gone. And I was like, all right, beautiful sign. And I felt it was Archangel Raziel. I always try to ask, and you should too, who is it from? Sometimes just that's how you learn your angels, who's on your spirit team. And you can kind of start to learn the energy of what they're feeling. Another one is I was walking out to my car and I found this beautiful gray feather. And I was like, wonder what feather this is from. I don't remember seeing any birds with gray feathers around, my yard and things. And I just heard, it's a sign. It's a message for you. And the message is on Instagram, so feel free to go take a look at that. I was working on a course for you all, which years later I still haven't finished. I'm waiting for the right energy, the right time. And all I heard was, look at the clock. And no joke, the clock was 11:11. That's an angel number. It's a repeating number. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you guys for the sign. It means what I'm channeling in this course is right. Going to come up and it's going to be in fruition. And the last sign that I want to talk about today is, I honestly don't know how I found this, and you can check on my Instagram. It's a small paper heart. It's a heart. It's a paper shaped like a heart. It's super tiny. It's like this tiny. And I'm surprised I was able to find it because the carpet on the stairs and part of the second floor is gray and white. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a sign. And it happened to be because I was recording another podcast episode a couple years ago with this woman, Ashley, who was telling me her angel signs and how she receives heart-shaped things as her signs. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, I want a sign like that. And then I eventually got it. And I said, I think I texted her or I DM'd her and I was like, oh my gosh, this sign is for you, but it's also for me because I've never had a heart-shaped sign before. But it was also to like reach out to her, check in how she was doing, how her book was going. And that's also a sign. That's what they're saying is that if you think of somebody that you like haven't talked to in a while, or just you get that nudge that you need to call that person, do it because there's a sign or there's a message there that you need to communicate with them. Heaven, the other side, is always with you, your guides, loved ones, God, universe, source. They're always with you. They're always sending you love, signs, positive messages. You just have to be patient and be open to receive them. Every night before I go to bed, I say, God, universe, source, angels, gods, and loved ones, thank you for all the messages that you've been sending me today, even the ones that I missed. And I say that because sometimes, at least for me, when I'm working in my tech support day job, it's almost like I'm turned off spiritually because I am so technical and I'm so focused that I know they've been sending me signs throughout the day. And it's almost like that side of the brain has turned off because I'm so doing technical troubleshooting and things. But not only that, life can get really busy and you just don't notice them, even if they're like right in front of your face. I've asked for signs. I'm like, I need the sign like 10 more times to validate. And that's okay. They understand that we live in a human world and we need sometimes the extra validation, the extra love. Everything happens for a reason. We don't always know the reason why, but we're always on our path, and our path has detours and bumps and ups and downs. And I understand that life is hard here on earth, but they're always with you. I've even asked my grandpa, I'm like, if I want you to be with me, I don't want you to take you away from like my grandma, for example. And he said, no, it doesn't happen. Heaven, the other side, it's totally different than what we think it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. There's no time. We can be in multiple places at once. So don't feel like you're taking me away from anybody because you're not. And I just think that's beautiful. I think we all need to understand that concept, even though it's a hard concept to understand. But we are all spiritual beings in human bodies. We are all connected to God, universe, source. We're all extensions of them. That's why the oneness meditation is so important. It really grounds us and reconnects us, raises our vibration. It is just, everybody can do this. Everybody can connect with God, universe, source, their angels, guides, and loved ones. I think sometimes we believe that what somebody can do is only meant for them, but then life would be boring. We all have special gifts. They all matter, and all the signs matter. All the messages, they matter. So with that being said, I'm going to close out today's episode, but I want to do a 30-day challenge with you all. Starting today when this podcast launches, it's going to come out, let me just check the calendar, Monday, March 30th. And we're going to do this for 30 days. I want you to ask for a sign, specific or not. Tag me in it, at Cristina Angel Messenger. And let me know, take a picture of the sign, and if you have a moment, ask who it's from and what the message is. I'm going to be participating on this journey with you. I haven't really done a sign challenge with my angels in a while, and I think we'll just make it fun. Like, it doesn't have to be so serious, life. Let's have fun with it. Ask for specific signs if you want. Ask for silly ones. One of my first signs that I ever asked for was a blue butterfly, because A, I've never seen one. B, blue is my favorite color. And C, there's just something magical about butterflies. So I asked, and I think I saw it on a website or something. I just said, thank you. Thank you for the sign. I also remember a few years ago when I was working in another school district, I literally parked this car every day, or I would pass the car every day. And I never noticed that on the back of her car where her hitch was a blue butterfly. And on the day that I was really feeling down and just unsure of myself and if I was on the right path, and I just asked, can you please give me the blue butterfly? And I wasn't seeing it on Instagram, Facebook. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not on the right path anymore. Like, maybe something has happened. And no joke, got out of my car, was walking towards the front door, and I heard, look to your right. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't know how many times I parked next to this car, but there's my blue butterfly. And it just felt like a knowingness that that was the sign, that I was on the right path, that I do have these gifts, and I'm here to help you understand your intuition, help you understand the signs and the messages that your guides and loved ones are trying to bring you. We have a couple different services, angel readings, which I ask your angels, guides, and loved ones what messages you have for them. We have angel Reiki services where I cleanse and rejuvenate your energy using the angelic energy, as well as bringing through messages. We have automatic writing sessions, mini and deep dive. So for the mini, if you have one question or just looking for, like a couple sentences of a message that your angels are trying to bring through. Deep dive is up to 3 questions. And I just channel what they need to bring through you. So if you're ready to hear from your team, understand that you too have these gifts, you just want to communicate with your angels, learn how to communicate, go to my website at CristinaAngelMessenger.com. It's Cristina with no H. And to end this episode, for real this time, I want you to take a deep breath and ask for your sign today. And when you get your sign, remember, say thank you, ask who it's from, and what the message is. Have a blessed day, lovely souls.